All right, guys, I figured I'd just put a quick little, video together here for you to kind of give you a synopsis of some of the things you could do with this property. Again, this is that property in Overlook. It's listed for $350, I think $359. I personally think it's a little high for some of the work that needs to be done. I think you'll be able to get it for $325, but that really all depends upon the activity and how many offers come in on it. So, East Ann Arbor is a hot area to live in because the taxes are low, schools are pretty good, and its proximity to everything. So that's all going to be dependent upon that. But let's give you kind of a walkthrough of the property. This is the living room. So when you walk in the front door, you have like a little walkway there, as you'll see, that little alcove right there. You'll see that, this is what I'm talking about right here, by the way. It's that little alcove. When you walk in, you'll be able to walk into this, and this is going to be to the left, which is your living room. All right, and then this is just another view, so you can kind of get an idea what it'll look like. Obviously, some of the things that are in there right now, obviously need to be replaced. But I would recommend, keeping everything simple. But the good news is there are hardwood floors underneath the carpet. The paneling on the walls, depending upon how they're installed, will determine, what is going to be the cost to remedy it. Obviously, the cheapest way would be to just paint it, but it just leaves that look that I don't like too much, which is, you see the ridges in there, and I just think it just doesn't look like the right way to do it. Me personally, I've done this before in the past in some of the houses that I've flipped, and personally, I think it's the easiest is if it's just nailed up. You just pull this right off. It comes right off. And then you can just refinish the sheetrock that's underneath it. If it's glued, that's a different story because it winds up ripping off the base layer. And depending upon your budget, you can just re-skim coat it. Or personally, I think it's just easier, much quicker, is just getting some really thin sheetrock. They make 1/4 inch and it goes right up over that, and simple, easy project to be done. And it's cheap, so that's what I would recommend doing. This is the other side, which is the dining room. Obviously, the first thing to go is that hideous contraption there, separating it. And but again, same scenario, hardwood floors underneath, same thing with the paneling. What you're going to notice over here is this is a wall, and there's like 2 individual entrances to the kitchen, which looks really ridiculous. But I personally would work with, getting rid of this wall and putting some type of island there and reconfiguring it to give you that kind of open concept. And this is the kitchen, which, me personally thinks this whole thing needs to be redone, ripping out all the cabinets. You really can't salvage those cabinets. Get rid of those, and you can go, me personally can go to IKEA and get the really, the ones you build yourself, the really good quality cabinets. You just got to put them together. But you can get a whole 10 by 12 kitchen for $1,000, and they really look sharp for the money. And it's a good way to ensure that you're not going to over-improve the property and maintain a budget. So you can get that for $1,000. I'd go a little bit higher end on the countertops, put the granite countertops in. But I would say with appliances, everything, as far as material-wise, you can get with as little as probably $4,000. So if you do it yourself, you really could do that on a budget. If you get a contractor, obviously it's going to be a little bit more. But again, I wouldn't want you to be over-improving it. It's just another angle of the kitchen. This is the hallway going into the bedroom and bathroom for the first floor. This wall over here to the left is really just the other side of the living room. So this is right off the kitchen. You get this little hallway, goes right into here. And depending upon really how big you want the project, you can just keep this existing footprint, which is probably the best thing. But if you really want to get invasive, you could really think about opening this all up and getting rid of this and relocating it to the other side. But me personally, I would just stick to the basic footprint and just redo it that way, maybe keep that as an office. So this is the bathroom. Again, I would recommend gutting it down completely and replacing it. As far as a budget material-wise, I've done bathrooms exactly like this tons and tons of times in some of the houses I rehabbed. And material-wise, you can get away around with $1,500, $2,000 if you're doing it all yourself. Obviously, if you hire a contractor, that's going to increase your cost with labor. There's one side of the bedroom, same scenario with the paneling on the side. We went through that. Here's a different angle, the other angle, and then this is the closet. all right, on that side. This is right next to the hallway I was just showing you. This will go right up the stairs into the second floor, which will give you your basic Cape Cod layout. You've got 2 bedrooms, one on either side of this little hallway right here, and you've got on the right, you've got the bathroom, and then on the left, again, you got those 2 closets, and then bedroom on either side of that hallway. This is a picture of the bedroom, and it's pretty much a mirror image on the other side, exact same thing. This one has tongue and groove pine, so you might toy around with keeping that or maybe removing it, but you know, same scenario. If you do remove it, then all you got to do is just replace it with the sheetrock, and that's not that expensive. But also hardwood floors upstairs here as well. I've done this in Capes before where they dormer this off right here. I personally, if you knock this down and go all the way up to the full triangular peak, it really gives the perception of a much larger space. And you know, I put little like beams in here, and that's like a little cheap project that you can do that really help increase the perception of the size of the room. And that's like a little inexpensive thing you could do. Bathroom, it's got that same pine, tongue and groove, which again I would remove. It's got your small little vanity. I would just replace all this too. You could keep this tile in here in this bottom, but I would just replace the door. So again, you're probably looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,500, depending upon if you want to replace the tile or not. If you want to replace the tile, like I said, maybe $1,500 to $2,000 for materials. Here's a den. Again, same thing with the walls, you know, replacing them with the real small thin sheetrock would be the scenario in place here. This needs to get replaced with maybe some carpet, or if you want to continue on with the hardwood floors, but there are not hardwood floors underneath here. This was like an addition that was put on sometime after the original house. And then right off on the opposite side of this is what you have here, which is a laundry room, and then to the right over here you've got a half bath. And then that also leads down to the basement too. So if you go around this corner on the other side of that wall is your entrance to the basement, which is a full-size basement. Here's a picture of the bathroom. This you could probably really get away with cheap, maybe $500 to just put maybe a new tile, new toilet, paint it, new vanity with mirror and a light, and you know, you're done. You can get, this is a small little vanity. You can get these compact ones at Home Depot that come with, you know, the granite countertop, the vanity, everything, mirror, light, everything all in one for like, you know, a couple $100. So you can be in and out of this room for like probably $500. They have a nice little screened-in porch. Again, needs work. One of the screens is ripped, but that would be a cool little thing. And then there's a nice little shed back there. And the lot, by the way, is 60 and goes all the way back to the back fence there, which is 180 feet. So it's a nice little yard once you clean up some of the overbrush that was in here. And again, this house was an estate sale. An older gentleman that had passed away, and now his heirs are trying to get rid of it. And this is the basement, so a cool, you know, if you wanted to finish this off, a whole other area if you have kids or, you know, the old typical man cave scenario. But that's it. That's sort of like what I wanted to do real quickly, just put the video together so you can kind of get an idea of the house, the walkthrough, and everything that kind of goes along with it. So maybe toy around with this and view it a couple times and kind of give yourself some vision of what you could do. But I think, you know, on a really, if you detailed budget, you can get in at probably around some $20,000-$25,000. I have a special program where you can buy this house with only 3.5% down, and then all the additional money that you want to get out to fix the house, I can include that into the loan, so you only need 3% of that total amount. So like in that scenario, if it was like, you know, $325 and say you took another $25-30 grand, let's say like a total around $350, you would only need 3.5%. We can include all your closing costs into there, and then we could also set it up so you don't have any mortgage payments for 2 full months. And when you're done, me personally, I think this house would be worth anywhere in the neighborhood between $425 and $450. That's what the comparables in this area are selling for Cape Cod's pretty much fixed up. So I think it represents a great opportunity. If you're willing to kind of do some work on your own, a really great opportunity. But even if you hire a contractor and you don't do any of the work yourself, it still is, me personally, thinks it's a great deal. So if you're interested, obviously get all my contact information. Just reach out to me, let me know, and we'll take it from there. All right, talk to you soon.